So this project is at Lilydale Heights College in the Yarra Valley, and it's really stage one of a master plan that we did in 2017-18, which is focused on three components: a sports pavilion, sustainability hub, which we can see in this image, and a town square, which is a sort of learning landscape, which we can also see in this image. As a way of kind of introducing the school site, we're really located in suburban Lilydale, and on an old tech school site with a very particular and regimented geometry for the site. And we were looking in our master plan at ways of engaging with the community more, and particularly the street. And this was the existing condition, and also trying to give the school a bit of a focus. So if we go to the before and after our stage one works, we can see a major new element here, which is the sports pavilion, which is a community use facility as well, located on with frontage onto Nelson Road. So a sort of civic building in some ways, also an important school facility. And then in the middle of the site, a new area we call the town square, which stuck as an idea, which is a landscape project designed by Schored Projects in conjunction with Murrundindi, Elder. And also the other component is the reuse of this boiler house here, which was the central servicing hub for the original tech school and remains so, but is now also a teaching building. So looking a bit more closely at that one area there, we can see there's also some works to a canteen, see the town square and sustainability hub, and they've got a strong connection between them. And the sports pavilion, which is this, sits separately on the frontage. So this is a sort of pure suburban temple in some ways, a steel shed clad in steel and fiberglass, trying to make as many openings as possible and connections to the outside, but really providing a colonnade out onto the street. So the street is out on this side to the south, and there was a series of bus shelters there. You might have seen them in the existing images. So really the project in some ways took that alignment of bus shelters and kept them, and that function in fact. So this grand colonnade that's embedded within the steel portal provides that space for waiting, important space for waiting for buses and the like. It's part of school life, but also providing a kind of a civic frontage to the building. It's an express portal frame shed. It's rotated how you might normally do it. It spans the long span, and that allows for future expansion down in this direction, but also gives us the opportunity to express the steel frame and push the colonnade in within the structure in the manner of other portal frame buildings such as Bow Repair Centre at the University of Melbourne. Here's the colonnade, which is an active space for waiting, and this is the suburban context. And then a series of openings within the sports hall interior, working creatively within some very stringent requirements of the VSBA, which really say don't have any windows, which is crazy, to try and glaze and make as much glazing in a door as possible, so you can actually get views of the Yarra Valley, which is surrounding you. So this is the interior, which is a sort of expressed structure inside as well, with a sort of 5 metre portal, 5 metre band of sort of alternating plywood around it. So that's the sports pavilion. Coming through to the other area of the school, the sustainability hub and the town square. This is the sustainability hub. So this was a boiler house, and it had this very distinctive brick chimney. Now we advocated very strongly to retain this building and not knock it down, which was what we would have done if we sort of followed the normal procedures. But we said, given that this was a centre for teaching sustainability, it would be appropriate to pursue an adaptive reuse, an elective heritage approach effectively. We didn't have to keep this building, we advocated for it, and we managed to change a bit of the SBA policy in this regard. So really what we did with this was gut it out. It had a whole lot of redundant heating systems in it. We put those on the roof of the building. This is the sort of backside of it from the town square side, the opposite side. Put all that renewed equipment onto the roof of the building, kept the distinctive brick chimney as a sort of landmark, and then essentially gutted out the interior to create a donut of continuous space that was able to be broken up into a series of teaching areas if needed through bifold doors, but also used for large project-based learning in a variety of configurations working with the existing structure, and some changes have been made over time. This originally was essentially a boiler house and amenities block, and then putting a lab, a little lab in the middle of it. But the spaces around the perimeter, around this core, are these spaces here. So a sort of didactic building, expressing the servicing, solar panels on the roof. So a real teaching opportunity. And then these are one of the big slides. There's a series of sliders and bifolds actually. This is one of the orientation points for the sustainability hub. And then these are spaces around here that allow good aspect out onto that town square. This is that lab right in the middle, but also allows outlook outwards to what an amazing Yarra Valley landscape. And this is the town square as well, which is primarily the work of Schored Projects in conjunction with Murrundindi, which folds around and connects a series of a series of buildings in the centre of the school together, and really gives a heart to the school that it didn't lack. The parallel planning of the original tech school, whilst attractive in some ways, did focus a kind of lack of focal point. And so this is what this attempted to do. So this is now looking back up a sort of series of terrace. This is a space really for play and learning. Kids are encouraged to climb all over decking and rocks, and it's been incredibly successful both as a play area and learning area. It's serviced, lighting, Wi-Fi power and the likes to allow for outdoor teaching, and works incredibly well. And the sustainability hub then opens up and connects into it quite strongly and directly. I think, Gina, I might open to you and see if you had any other thoughts that you wanted to pass on around the project generally.
Yes, thank you, Stuart. Good morning, panel. I think Stuart's actually covered most of it in a very efficient presentation there. I think the landscape part of this project and the heart part of this project was surprisingly successful to the leadership team at the school as well. They love the fact that the kids, the students really interact with it, almost every element of it. They also have the public come in on the weekends, which you know, potentially is a little bit problematic, but for some schools, but they don't seem to have any problems. And they find on a Monday morning sometimes some of this furniture that you can see in this image here all stacked up as to make one separate tower. And the school loves the fact that that's all that really happens. They don't have any vandalism happening here anymore, and they used to have a problem with vandalism, but they just have these sort of amusing challenges with the furniture going on. So they're thrilled with that, and they're thrilled with the way that the students climb around all the block work. Then they're also using that sustainability hub as a community hub, and they've currently got some workshops booked in there, and that was always part of the briefing as well. So so that's why we've got those big open spaces so they can use it as a community building, and that is actually happening. There is, as Stuart said, there's a bit of canteen work which is adjacent to this as well, which we put into the program.
Sorry, unfortunately that's it for the presentation component, but I'll throw to the jury for 2 minutes of questions. Thank you.